You know, for the longest time, the great Indian dream was that corner office with a killer city view. But what if that dream isn't in the city anymore? What if it's moved to the suburbs? Today, we're going to get into one of the biggest life decisions you can make. Do you go for the city hustle or the suburban space?
Look, this is so much more than just putting a pin on a map. Whether you're a young professional, a student, or looking to buy your very first home in India, this is a real crossroads. So, are you all about that city center energy, or are you leaning towards the peace and potential you get in the suburbs? Let's break it all down.
So, what's really behind this huge shift in how we're all thinking? Why is this whole debate so much more intense right now than it's ever been? Well, it all comes down to a massive reevaluation of what we truly want from our homes, our jobs, and yeah, our lives. Okay, so there are four huge forces really pushing this change. First up, and this is the big one, the whole hybrid work culture. Living 5 minutes from the office just isn't the top priority it used to be. And that leads right into the second point. We all just want more space, right? A proper home office, a balcony, or just a little more room to breathe. Third, the infrastructure in the suburbs is getting a massive upgrade. We're talking new metro lines and expressways that make getting around easier than ever. And finally, the one you just can't ignore, the sky-high costs in city centers are pushing people to find better value for their hard-earned money. All right, let's put these two head-to-head, a real showdown. We're going to look at the cost, the lifestyle, and the investment potential to give you a really clear way of thinking about this decision. Let's talk money, because for most of us, this is the number one thing. Your money just stretches so much farther in the suburbs. It's that simple. A budget that might get you a cramped one-bedroom flat in central Mumbai could easily land you a spacious two-bedroom in a well-connected suburb like Thane. And it's the same story for Delhi versus booming hubs like Noida or Gurgaon. It's not just the property either. Your day-to-day living expenses, from groceries to going out, are just way more affordable. But hey, it's not all about the finances, is it? It's about the kind of life you actually want to live. The city gives you that undeniable energy, the nightlife, that feeling that you're at the center of everything. But let's be real, that comes with the daily headache of traffic, constant noise, and living in tight spaces. The suburbs, they swap that constant buzz for cleaner air, quieter streets, and just room to grow. It might be the peace you need to focus on your work or raise a family. Now, if you're thinking like an investor, the story gets even more compelling. Yeah, properties in the big Tier-1 cities are stable, for sure, but their prices are often already near the top, which means growth can be pretty slow. But the suburbs, now that's an expanding market. You're getting in at a lower price point, and as all that new infrastructure and all those amenities pop up, the value of your property has a much, much higher ceiling. For investors and first-time buyers, the suburbs are really starting to look like the smarter long-term bet. So if the word suburb makes you think of some sleepy, boring town in the middle of nowhere, you need to hit the refresh button, because the reality on the ground today is completely different. Yeah, this is the classic stereotype, right? The idea that moving to the suburbs means you're leaving civilization behind. Well, let me tell you, that picture is decades out of date. The new reality is that modern suburbs are basically becoming cities in their own right. I mean, just look at places like Gurugram or Noida. These aren't just quiet outskirts anymore. They are massive corporate and commercial hubs, packed with their own giant shopping malls, top-tier schools, advanced hospitals, the whole 9 yards. They are thriving, totally self-sufficient ecosystems. And look, this isn't happening by accident. It's all part of this really ambitious smart city planning. What that means is they're building everything together. Brand new metro lines that slash commute times, wide expressways, dedicated business parks, and planned green spaces. The whole goal is to create a great quality of life that reduces and sometimes even eliminates the need to ever travel back to the main city. And of course, technology is making this entire process so much easier than it ever was before. Modern property platforms let you take virtual tours, compare property values in real time, check out the transit links, and get a genuine feel for a neighborhood, all from your screen. The data you need to make a really confident choice is literally at your fingertips. Okay, so we've looked at the big trends, the money side of things, and what these new suburbs are really all about. But how do you actually apply all this to your life? Let's build a simple, personal framework to help you decide. It really just comes down to asking yourself 3 direct questions. First, be honest about your commute. With hybrid work, do you really need to be in the office 5 days a week, or is it more like just 1 or 2? Second, how much flexibility do you truly have? If your work or studies can be done remotely, your options open up dramatically. And third, what's your financial endgame? Are you just looking for a place to live for now, or are you making a long-term investment where that growth potential is the key factor? At the end of the day, that line between city and suburb is getting blurrier and blurrier. Suburbs are no longer just far away. They are dynamic, well-connected centers of opportunity all on their own. This choice isn't just about picking a location anymore. It's about consciously designing the lifestyle you want, planning for your financial future, and finding your place in a rapidly evolving urban India. The real question